I'm Lucas and welcome back to more Rec Room. And you might be asking, how did you get these headphones? They cost like 10,000 tokens. Well, thing is, I didn't. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, anyways. I've been doing this stuff, testing out some stuff. And I really like the headphones. But to be fair, the one that I really want is... Where the hell did it even go? Nah, I like that. It looks cool. I might be getting some tokens. So I'll be happy. And we're going to try and get more tokens, see if we can get that down. And we're going to do some soccer.
Just to so not for the game. Remember how I got mad? How I took like someone's film that was just like out in the public, but the person who made that
What the heck?
Wait, hello there.
Hello there.
Oh, anybody want some beer?
Beer. Yeah.
Guys,
Hello.
James, hold up. What? Start the game?
Yeah, start the game then. Okay, this is weird. Come on.
Who are you?
Wait, what? That's bugging. Wait, what? Why is it over there? Why is it here? Wait, what happened? The game bugged. Wait, what happened? What happened?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
You hit the ball, it'll say Lucky Eagle did it. How is Lucky?
Lucky, what the frick's happening?
I don't know. What is this?
I want this victory though.
I'm recording it. Oh, bloody hell. So, football's bugged. Damn. How did Lucky Eagle? Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
You really wanted me to capitalize the lie right there. Can you remove your head?
Everything's fixed now.
What? I can't. This is quite easy. You have to. It's my little butt. What? What happened? He just kicked me out. Oh, look at this ad. Your future awaits you. Oh man, I've always wanted to shoot this one right here. I've always wanted to do that. Application. Yes. Why? Yeah? Why do you want me level 2 first? Are you ready?
No. What? No. Oh. Why did you hit it over to our base? Bro, that would have gone in there. Bro, fake hairy man legs came in the server. Hello there. No. What are you doing, boy? Oh God. No. No. Keep it. And yeah, as you read from the title, I have an eye infection again. And I hate having eye infection. But it's a bad thing, you know. Bruh, late saves. Holy crap. Die! Memes! We've seen some random stuff too, little bit. Run all the way back, even though the ball's over there. Die! You will die! Oh, they actually scored one. Oh, wait, what the hell happened? What the freak? We win! Game over! You win! Give me the money. 40 tokens, hell yeah. Ah, that's good. I have the flapper headphones.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Stupid. Oh. Innocent prisoner. I have to touch the security with our now. It's not your fault. It's mine. I am still getting the punishment. Hey, get down.
Die! Get wrong!
Ah! Why did you do that?
Oh no, no. Well, the friends did that before. You're a king. You can keep it under the
It's really fun. Not that many people care. My birthday was like almost 3 months ago. These were the handsome young men in there. It looks like it's really like a lot of comedy or like something. Don't do that. I don't want Roblox to think that I'm like putting myself on the popular feed. And so that was somebody else's game. So like, I don't want that to get banned. Don't try to get people banned for this community. Don't try to get people banned at all. But especially not right. Another group. Target. They keep Target Star. Yeah, it's like very, very, very loud stuff at that point. So I have the audience to get it.
Stop! So far, smile. It's not a thing you lose. Oh, nice one, Jaguar.
Only gonna work for the winter, and then I was out.
Bro, what are you doing? Look at this dude. Look at the city. Oh,
like a month after I was, gone. Give me that! Give me that! Give me mine!
Nice one, Jaguar.
I ran with it.
Oh, yeah, look at the top of his head. Ow! Oh no! Oh no, this isn't tea.
Right now
Nice job. You nearly got it in. Nice, you got it in. Nice job, Royal Jaguar.
chicken is mine. She pulled out pepper spray. She just threatened me.
Oh, you didn't even do nothing. Oh. No, no talking about it.
I shouldn't be doing this.
No.
Big improvement in memory loss and pressure. 20 robots.
Maybe I did stay with you.
It's just touch your range.
Okay, one thing that I do know is whatever it is you think you've got on me, you don't.
I want
see again. When you left it, I flashed the lines worth the gear down the screen. Only it didn't belong to us, did it? I'm not keeping it for a deal. 24 stitches.
Baker? Baker?
You owe me. Everything alright?
Scream players, no man.
Misunderstanding.
How? What? Are you cheating? You're totally cheating. You're cheating, boy. Cheating. Okay then, let's have a look. What even is Swiss cheese? A long, no. The bookie, yeah.
The total number of British Army regiments serving in the Albion province. Oh, well, we couldn't be biting my hand off to answer that one. Carla, do you
Why are you yelling at me?
Can't say I do.
what should be looking over for?
I'm trying to raw draw. No, screw it. Screw it. Wait, Rainbow? I thought it was Rubber Ducky. The draw, you have to get.
Brilliant. What about the neighbours over?
Oh my god! I just caused a stress-induced death.
Just trying to sort everything out.
Can't believe it.
Mysteriously, none of the local solicitors are
He
available.
died. I can't believe I did that.
She's so cool, man.
Imran's probably put
King James. Hello there.
What's up?
Oh. Okay.
Bitch, I'm talking to you. Say hello, bitch.
You're the hero of the hour, the next.
No.
You're the one.
Oh, could I always take the dress back?
Fuck up.
Daft.
I'm in the middle of doing the stream. I ain't got time to say the B word. Look. Just play the game properly.
So Life in Paradise is technically my
Cloud, a cuddle, a boat, a fish.
A
plane, a hedgehog, a hedgehog, a butterfly, anything, a hedgehog, bird. I can't. No one can draw in stream mode. It's too hard. Okay.
Because it looks like a restaurant, because I stole it from Burger Night. You are a really good friend and you do, Alice, but now I'm dead.
Here we go. Is that rain? Air? Wind? Wind? Is it wind? Rain, puddle, a throne, a bird, a silly string. Okay, what is this now?
This is where we go when we die. Look at the sign. We die. Right there.
You got 22 seconds left.
Bro, how does he keep going back? I'm sending him away. Ignore him. I really feel like a successful game developer right now because Life in Paradise, like I mentioned, my game.
Oh, is that a baseball, a basketball, a football? Volleyball. I didn't say volleyball. That was funny. I got, oh, what did I get? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got a little cool red artist hat. Dead dog.
Hey,
My boy Tricky Hamster got 20 tokens. Just play. I'm gonna get the pen and draw some random crap. It's my no circle. Cause the plane's gonna play. Oh. You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. I want to see this mode. Let's just put this thing down to the bottom. No. Whose turn is it? Whose turn?
Shut up! No, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, what? Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck all of these shit! Fuck that dude shit!
Is it a ring? A ring! A ring! An orangutan!
Orangutan!
Is it a circle? Helmet? Oh, what is it? A draw? What's a draw?
This one is boring. Nobody talks in here.
I know, it's because they're all junior accounts.
Shut the fuck up.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you why they're not talking.
And plus, talking dumbass.
Alright, keep your bloody hat on.
What? Yeah. Shut the fuck up. You sound like a fucking 5-year-old.
Bloody hell. Okay, what's he trying to draw? Is he trying to draw rain? A cloud? A face? What is that? What is that? Noodle! Let's go! Let's go! Noodles! That's what I'm talking about. Is it a crab? Oh, a pie, a yo-yo, a bomb, a duck, a duck, a duck, a hanger, a duck.
No, a bell! It's a bell!
A bell? That is not a bell at all. That's not even a real word. No, I don't want to know.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking 10-year-old! You fucking 10-year-old! Look at your level! You're fucking 10! You better shut the fuck up! You gotta take my fucking pen, you bitch! Stop fucking looking at me, homie!
Sounds like some Fortnite kid. Okay, I can't even draw anything in time. I'm trying to thermal start then. Thermal start. Okay, I can't draw thermal start. I'm magic.
Shut the fuck up, please! You're fucking annoying!
I'm gonna
I'm trying to talk to the young lady over here, and you're a faggot ass just keep talking!
What is that? Is that a heart?
You're still talking! I'm not listening! That's the fucking thing! And you're still talking! You annoying ass bitch! You're gonna back and keep it home!
Eyes. A cell. A cell. That was a cell. Okay, Lucky Cobra. What are you gonna draw? A circle. Eyes. Oh. Oh. No. Graduate. Graduate. You have 10 seconds to draw something. Oh, bro. Good game. Good game, boys. What did I get? I got nothing because I'm crap. 20 tokens, 10 tokens, 10 tokens. He walked away from him. Yeah. I'm glad I started streaming.
Hey, what's going on? Why is he still here?
Because he didn't leave.
I thought he left. Who the fuck was talking to you, Guardian Teddy?
I am talking to you, King JJ.
Somebody can actually hear my name, Josh. Shut the fuck up, kid.
This is funny. This is funny. The wolfman's in the. What is that? Clowns? What is that? Pajamas.
Shut up.
Take like an area of above right here that's gonna be heaven. So obviously this is real heaven.
Oh, what is this now? Is it in?
No, not at all.
Ice cream. I can't wait to see what it is. What is it gonna be? Ice cream. Yo-yo, a yo-yo, yo-yo. It's a yo-yo, you mono. Yo-yo, apple, a net.
A net? Do you not know what a net is?
It looks like one of those crisps.
It out after he got banned because a lot of hackers
What the heck? Is it a rake? A flower, a rake. I can't see from this angle. A net, a pear. What is it? A peacock.
What? That wasn't a peacock. It was supposed to be a spider web. I had spider web at first, which I didn't know what it was. Shut the fuck up, bitch! You can't even turn with your short ass! Say, bitch, take it. You can't turn. Stupid ass. Stupid fucking ass. Oh. Shut the fuck up, white.
What do you think brought it on?
Okay.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, no. Okay, what's this?
Just go to your dorm. Just go to your dorm.
Look,
That is not even look like from my own bathroom.
This is funny.
Yeah, some good session bush last, you know what I'm saying? In that ass, boy. I said,
Is
in
it
that
a frame? A picture frame? A clock? No. A cup of coffee, cup of tea, cup of coffee.
sadly, you're
Cup of tea, mate. You okay? I don't know what that is, mate. A thing that Aladdin uses, I think.
Is it a lollipop? What is this? Jumbotron? Jumbotron?
Right, are you British?
Yeah, I am.
I'm not British.
I got a token box, boy. 10 tokens.
Oh my god, I got 10 tokens.
Wow, my favorite. Let's just yeet it. Like,
Hey, how do you change your color? How do you change your color?
you go into your little menu of it, then tool menu, and then it'll say the colour that you want and triangle or whatever.
Dumb, stupid, dumb. Huh?
Who's singing that stupid song?
What?
Who's singing that stupid song? But are you?
I know, how do you change your color though?
I told you how to change the colour.
I forgot.
Okay, so you got your little pen in your hand, then you click triangle if you're on screen, then the bottom it'll say tool menu or whatever. There's little 3 lines, click on them, and then you click on it again, I think, and then it'll show up with the little
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah, it's alright.
What? I got blue books.
Oh God, I'm spinning. Drawing. What did you draw?
You know you can save items from the store if you don't own, and save outfits, and then you can put them on.
Oh God.
stuck in with my ugly mug.
Guys, I don't.
Somebody took my donut circle. Give me my donut circle back.
Look at this thing. Just around the nest.
Give me my donut circle.
Saying she doesn't remember. As soon as she says you should console.
Hi. Hi. How are you? Hi. Hi.
Why are you a girl?
You think, wouldn't you? A little scout.
Because why not?
Snatch me hand off, but you know she did. She threw me.
You're a girl.
She wants to get round.
Why not?
Everything's fine, okay? We had some words, and if she's got any sense.
JC's so cool, amazing.
Because you threatened it.
I warned her off, okay? Look, Carla, what's the
No, not your name.
What is that?
Ooh, amazing.
It is my name.
You put it on your lips. You put it on your lips. Lip gloss.
What's up, Yeet?
It's lipstick. Yeah, but it's the same thing as lipstick. I mean, yeah.
I'm not even gonna draw, I'm just gonna explain to you what it is and you guys will guess it. Watch me. I'm
Okay.
ready to do.
Well, can you believe it? You just really think it's
Hold on, man.
A frame.
A mirror.
It's a frame. A picture frame.
A cage.
A cucumber. He said something supposed to go inside of it. It's a frame. I actually got
Throw it. No. No, no
Supposed to go
hospital.
inside of it.
I ain't drawing Peter Pan.
A Peter Pan?
I ain't drawing no
Peter
Peter
Pan?
Pan. Aha, aha. Oh god.
Why they got a girl costume on? Yeah, that's awesome.
What?
Okay, I need to put some brown. No, I need to put some brown in it. Okay, you drink it. You drink it.
How about this?
No, you drink it out of a cup. Yeah, no. Tom got it. No, got it. Frisbee. No, I picked up the thing by accident and then it got into Frisbee.
It's what you guys are doing to me right now. What are you guys doing to me right now?
Talking.
Jay. Torture. No, it's not Jay. It's like you do it on America's Got Talent. Simon does it on America's Got Talent. What is it? Judge!
Yeah. I don't know what else. I could be American.
Not even gonna draw shit. You good, dog?
Let's see. Tricky hamster. What's he gonna draw?
I am Venom, not we. I. There's an iron team now. It's a me and my.
What is he doing?
Venom would sound like a girl.
What's he doing?
You know what the picture said?
What is he doing? What is he doing? Hey! Dog leash. The word was dog leash.
What?
Like 10 years ago. No,
Josh.
Okay, elephant, what have you got for
No,
us?
not you, Josh. I'm talking about Josh.
Oh,
Wait, Josh. Singing Josh.
the word was Beauty and the Beast.
You're on big singing Josh. Just saying.
Okay, my boy Lucky Cobra.
Did he
can
not
do
hear
this.
what I said? Did he freeze?
What's wrong?
Ostrich.
Ostrich.
Ostrich. That's a big bitch.
That way. No. That way. Up, 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 up.
Press triangle and go to one of these faces.
Strong.
The fuck?
You know what, boy?
Everything, the answer to everything is Chinese people. Chinese people. Chinese people. Chinese people. Come on, the answer to everything is Chinese people.
What was the word?
You stupid bitch.
Yeah, why don't you just wiggle it? And then, why don't you just say delete it? Yeah.
10 tokens. Yeah, my favorite.
Wiggle your
Oh my
butt.
god.
No, don't touch me there. That is my no square. No, don't touch me there.
Why is it so long? Why is it so long?
From the people they love. But nobody should face cancer alone. Macmillan Cancer Support need your donations more than ever to help people living with cancer. Please go online and donate today.
Die.
What the fuck? And that's different charades. This one is more.
Because when we connect, anything is possible.
Come on, Max, then we'll go off to somewhere else.
See, yesterday I was just fucking naked, right?
Okay, let's.
What the fuck are you, black ass?
No, don't touch me there. That is my no-no twitch. No, don't touch me there. That is my no-no twitch.
Say the man on a square boy.
No, don't touch me there.
This
And hey, how
is
dare
my
you? That's
no
my
square.
that's
No.
Girls wear this. Fucking
dresses,
myself. No.
headbands, shoes, high heels.
High heels.
I was gonna say high heels, but then I was not. I'm just gonna annoy this guy.
High heels. That's no.
Let me eat a banana. Who dares me to eat a banana right now?
Not me. Stop throwing shit at me! Hey, Patty,
Eat
get
a
one!
banana.
Throw the claw.
Hey, got it over here, bro! Hey, Patty, get one, bro!
How are you over there?
I'm eating a banana.
Patty, Patty!
I'm eating a banana.
What is happening? A tree? Is it a tree?
Ice cream!
A tree? A bush? An ice cream?
What the fuck? You can't drop
You're
for
right.
shit. Oh, fuck, that is not a fucking flower. That is not a fucking flower, nigga.
It's not a flower.
You can say
Wait, what are you?
Lucky
How?
you.
Okay.
You can say the
then.
N-word, lucky you.
Pegasus. What's a
I'm
Pegasus?
black.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Where did the Where did the thing go?
Or do I tag to you?
Sorry, I'm sorry. You sound like 15.
I'm 12.
No, wrong. Okay, no, that'll be.
Puberty.
Talk.
His name is King not King George. So don't call him George.
I'm not. What the fuck? Talk to me, first of all.
I'm trying my best.
Who are you? Exactly.
How is he still over there?
Josh.
William.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a different.
Look, it's what I'm doing right now. What am I doing right now? The card. I'm holding it, but not only am I holding it, what else am I doing with it?
Jumping and I don't know.
Oh my god, no. I'm carrying it.
Carry.
Yeah, I'm carrying the card in my hand.
Oh. Oh, there is no brown. There's no brown. Okay, I'll just do it like that. No, it was gonna be a mustache. Oh, the place with the... No, Ben. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. I need to go do something.
Within 2 meters, but we'll just be careful. Try and keep the 2 meters nearly, but only for a very short space of time. And so that's the big difference between that and transport, where you may be sat next to somebody for a length of time.
I can see that in the larger stores, and we've seen it in the supermarkets, where not everyone is always keeping that 2 meter distance. What about in smaller shops, though? You're the Minister for Small Businesses. Those people who have the tiny stores in some of our smaller high streets.
So for the shopkeepers themselves and the people behind the tills, they would have put in mitigation as part of the guidelines. So that may be perspex screens, maybe face masks for themselves, so they're staying in for some length of time. But as again, if you're just coming in to shop, those same people will actually be moderating how many people are allowed in their store at any one time. So that's why it's important. Yes, go out and shop. We're encouraging people to do that, but make sure that you're working with the retailers, making sure that you're working, staying alert and obeying the rules that they've put in place to make sure that their employees are safe and that you as a customer are safe as well.
Right. The European Director of the World Health Organization told the Guardian newspaper that the UK shouldn't be easing the lockdown any further until the government's contact tracing system is, I quote, robust and effective. Is it the right time to open shops in England?
Yeah, I think it is, because we've set the 5 tests. The 5 tests are being met, and as I say, if we've got the guidelines that people are keeping to, staying 2 metres apart when they're out and about, obeying the rules that the retailers have put in to make sure that they're safe, then that's fine. The test and trace operation that's been put in place, you've got 20-odd thousand tracers that have been fully trained, that are working to make sure that if there's someone reported to them that's got symptoms, they can work through the people that have maybe had not just a brush by, but spent a significant amount of time within those 2 metres. Then they can ask them to self-isolate for 14 days. And those people that are self-isolating, clearly that's a lot to ask for people in the weeks and months to come, but that is something that we'll all have to do as we live with coronavirus, to make sure that the vast majority of us can have our freedoms slowly lifted.
Are you confident, briefly, that people are sticking to the rules? We've seen people going to raves this weekend. They're not social distancing at 2 metres, are they?
Absolutely not. And we've seen the protests, we've seen the raves, we've seen other examples, and it's so important that when we go out, we're only going to be able to live with this new normal, because we are still living with the virus, make no doubt about that, until we get a vaccine. But we've got to work together on this to make it work.
A question from Eric in Perthshire for you now. He is questioning the government's review of the social distancing 2 metre rule. He says, what is more important, the economy or lives? He questions whether reducing the distance would amount, and again I quote, to genocide against the elderly and infirm. Really strong words there from Eric. What's your response?
Look, the 2 metre, the government's first priority is to save lives. It always has been, always will be. But clearly restoring livelihoods, protecting jobs, protecting businesses, and making sure that the economy can start to open up again is really, really important. But we won't sacrifice lives on that basis, which is why the scientific guidance is so, so important. And that's why we've launched a comprehensive review to look at the medical evidence, the scientists that are talking in this country, looking at the international comparisons, what they were doing in Germany, where the gap is 1.5 metres, the WHO recommendation is 1 metre, so seeing why there are different advice coming from scientists and what impact that is having in those different countries. So it's important that we don't rush it, but get it right.
A quick one, what do you say to those who are questioning why we're allowed to shop now in England, but most children aren't allowed to go to school?
Well, again, in terms of school, you're actually sitting close to other children, with possibly, and it's very difficult to socially distance children, which is why we're being careful about the year groups that can come back. But again, in terms of shopping, as long as people are sensible, they tend to be coming in, buying something, and then leaving. So it's a different sort of event that's happening there.
Okay. Paul Scully, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you. Before the pandemic, my next guest was known for his global work in the field of cancer. But during it, Karol Sikora has become known as the positive professor for his optimism, even during the darkest of times. We spoke just before we came on air. Professor Sikora, let's start with a question from Nishanti, who writes, although the number of hospital admissions are at an all-time low, how can we be sure that the virus is not hanging around rather than being in retreat, as the true figure can only be revealed when testing is done for everyone?
That's a very perceptive question. Testing is the only way to really know where the virus is. It can run, but it can't hide, provided you've got testing in place. We know that the numbers all look good. The number of new patients with infection are right down despite improved testing. The number of hospital admissions are down. The number of critical care unit admissions are far, far lower than ever before. And encouraging, the deaths, although sad individually, are also considerably down and continuing. The trends are all good. But you're right, we've got to test better, we've got to get improved, because that's the only way we can check where the virus is. We need to know when we're truly out of here. Everything looks as good as it really can be now, but we have to go a bit further forward and monitor things as we go forward.
Okay, Jim asks, how long in lockdown would it take for the UK to become virus-free and then be free like New Zealand? Would this be preferable to slowly coming out and continuing to be living with the virus?
The answer to Jim's question is we don't really know. All we can do is look at other countries that came out of lockdown 2 or 3, even 3 months ago. Austria, Germany, Norway, Czech Republic. And They've not had a single blip up, which is great. And there, the bars are open, the schools are open, everything's more or less back to normal. Bit of nervousness as people check every day for new infections, but they're under 10 per country at the moment, 10 to 20 per country. So really controlled. We have to hope we're going to get there very quickly indeed.
Paul writes, Professor Carol Sikora has been a true source of optimism during the pandemic. My question is, we are due to get married on the 5th of September. What restrictions does the professor think will be in place come September? And does he think larger gatherings of 50 or more will be allowed by then? What's your thoughts?
So, congratulations. And the positive answer is, of course, just carry on planning. That's all I can suggest. Don't cancel anything. You know, at the moment, it looks good for September. Now, I could be wrong, and no one really knows. But I think you should just plan ahead to have the wedding. Exactly. It's the one opportunity of your life. I've been married for 46 years this summer, and I know my wife will be listening, so good luck at your wedding in next month. 2 months.
Congratulations to you on that. A final thought, a message for all of us really over the next few weeks and months to come.
It's been tough. It's really been tough for people, and I fully appreciate it. You know, it's not just the psychology of loneliness, the psychology of lockdown, but also the economy. Not everyone has been fortunate. Not everyone's been furloughed. Some people have lost a lot of money. They're on low salaries. Their children have suffered. We've got to get back to normality. We've not got to let this virus defeat us as a society. So I'm hoping the politicians will speed our exit up and not listen to the doomsayers from the epidemiologists. Sure, bad things could happen, but I have a good feeling about this. I think we're going to get there, and by September, we'll sit down in a park like this and say to ourselves, what was that all about?
Professor Carol Sikora, thank you. Stay with us for advice on the new support bubbles. Dr. Sarah Jarvis will answer your concerns, plus
my wonderful neighbours have been hiding little toys for our son to find.
From toy hunts to dog walks, what's helped get you through the lockdown?
This is an important update from the government about coronavirus. We all need to stay alert so we can control the virus and reduce the risk of infection. To stay alert, you must remain at home as much as possible. Work from home if you can. Limit your contact with other people. If you have to go out, keep your distance from others, 2 meters apart where possible. Continue to wash your hands regularly. Do not leave home if you or anyone in your household has symptoms. Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
You could watch another episode, or you could save up to £102 on your home insurance with Go Compare. Why not do both?
Deep cleaning is important in helping you create a cleaner home. So before you buy your next vacuum, ask yourself, does it provide 185 air watts of suction power? Do cyclones generate 79,000 G to capture fine dust particles? Does it trap 99.97% of fine dust as small as 0.3 microns and expel cleaner air? Powerful Dyson suction to deep clean your home. Buy now from Dyson.
Macaroons.
God. I'm back, and where's my phone?
True love stories brought to you by Tesco.
People's postcode lotteries